good evening, Nancy. Good afternoon. Good morning to
Good morning
all
sa
of you
Pilipinas.
watching. Yes, on the live stream in Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Kumu. Magandang umaga, Chef. Cloud Tayag.
Cloud, sabi
Kamusta?
niyo, kusinero lang
Cloud
po ako, hindi ako
nine!
chef.
Kusinero.
Cloud nine!
Cloud9. Cloud9.
Cloud9.
And, and welcome to everybody watching. My name is Antonius, founder of our awesome planet, together with the Nancy Reyes Lumen, and we're the show Filipino discovering our culinary DNA. No, we're awesome live with Claude Tayag to know his story and what's up with Bali Dutung and what's happening in Pampanga. So please join us. Please like and share this. And share with your family and friends who are fans of Claude Tayag. Ang dami
Yes,
yan.
marami
Yes.
yan.
And please join our discussion also. You have questions to Cloud. We'll be discussing with him his culinary DNA. My name is Anton Diaz. Awesome Live with Cloud Tayag. Can you do a short film? Cloud!
Hello.
Been a long time. So, but
Yes.
dami kong tanong sa'yo, but before we start, there might be some people watching. So you want to know, paano ka ba nag-start? And ano ba yung culinary DNA ni Cloud Tayag?
Okay, paano ako nag-start ng ano? Yun ang tanong ko. I mean,
Oo.
which aspect?
Your palate. Your
Yung
palate.
palate, when you're growing up.
You have to understand, or you have to know you can say my background, the milieu that I grew up, I was born to, and I grew up in. So, I am Claude Tayag. They call me Cloud because I'm the 9th of 12 children. Kaya Cloud9. Hindi siya Claude. So, can you imagine, growing up in the heart of Pampanga, Angeles City, where, basically that says it all. In Pampanga, para bang ang sa amin, pagkain ng, the kitchen is the center of our universe. Food, di ba? The reputation of the Kapampangans. And pangalawa, I'm the 9th of 12 children, coming from a very large family. Can you imagine the amount of cooking that our mother did when we were growing up? So, and this was like in the 1960s, no? Talagang, and we were not really made, but literally we volunteered to help out in the kitchen. Para bang in the end, if you want something, you do it yourself. So we were taught self-reliance to be and as a matter of fact, even in high school, I was already doing my own dinners. Kasi
Wow,
usually pag yung dinner ba na recycle repeat from lunch, yung tira-tira. So gagawin ko, kunyari may nilaga, gagawin ko siyang pancit canton. Yung ganon. I will cook gagawin ko yung chicken bits na nilagang manok, gagawin kong chicken sandwich. So doon ako natuto ng improvisation. So making do with what is there. Parang ganyan, no? So even when I was in remember yung sa Kapampangan home, para bang it's an open house, literally an open kitchen, like at the drop of a hat, you can marami kayo, mga barkada. Remember, we're 12. Kanya-kanyang sets of barkada. Tapos palaging may pagkain yan sa ref na basically sa Kapampangan go-to sa pantry niya, meron yan siguradong ready-made, yung kilain, may tosino, may sisig ka mo, or may adobo. The usual parang adobo, ganyan. And the most quintessential Kapampangan dish, yung buro na fried hito, buro at mustasa, yung gano'n, no? So the thing was, even back in when I was already in UP Diliman, studying at UP Diliman, 1972, 73 onwards, on long weekends, my classmates would invite themselves. Cloud, papunta kami ng Baguio this weekend. Daan kami sa inyo, pagluto mo kami. and for them, para sa kanila, they already knew, parang it's given that I can cook, no? And at that time, handa mo lang ng tosino, sisig, buro, sa kanila exotic na 'yon, taga Manila. Kaya ang isip ko sa sarili ko, talagang ang taga Manila walang alam sa pagkain. sa kanila gourmet food na 'yan. Okay. So, sa amin pang araw-araw lang. Remember, 1973 wala pang sisig sa Manila. So, para sa kanila exotic. So, that was the basically the reputation that I got among my circle of friends. That remember 1990s ba tayo
later on
together with Nancy, the late Larry Cruz, and other restaurateurs, and even foreign chefs working in the big hotels, no, Nancy?
Yeah.
Lumalabas tayo noon. I mean, anong pagkakilala mo sa akin noon, Nancy, in the 1990s, yung Thursday Club Days years natin? Matakaw nga, but the thing, my profession was what?
Well, he always had his stand about his own cuisine, the way of cooking, Kapampangan food, and he was, I would say, we're also creative at that time already.
Yeah, ang point ko, I was with what I was there in Manila was I was basically practicing my being an artist, no, as a painter. Tapos nagkataon, my circle of friends were foodies. Hindi pa ginagamit ang word foodies noon.
Anton, he had the big installation at the cultural center, di ba? Sa baba, yung black and white mo. I remember that.
Oh yeah. That was 1992 or 1991.
Yeah.
Oh, yun. So, I mean, I hang around this group of friends that centered on food. So, not artist group, no? Iba yung ano ko eh. So kilala talaga ako until in 1989.
Okay.
That was the first time that, I mean, I was within my group, kilala ako as the artist who can cook.
Okay, who can cook.
But in 1989, that was the first time I went public with my cooking. Larry Cruz invited me as a guest cook. Kusinero lang, hindi chef. Sa Anghang. Yung kanyang theme restaurant sa may Sandbar Plaza on Amorsolo Street in Makati. 1989. And I call that my first time. Nagladlad ako ng apron for the first time to the public. So Larry promoted me as the artist who cooks.
Okay.
And my first time ever to cook publicly, I interpreted my paintings into edible art.
Oh, yeah.
Wow! Ang sarap siguro nun.
So, very, very
Hindi na
artistic.
nangyari ulit yun.
I still have that invite where you were drawing. You drew some
Yes.
of those things.
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
Nancy, remember, I don't know if you remember, you were the first one to write about it in the Glossy magazine.
Wow.
I have a clipping of that. It's Arts of ano ba yung may Asia something.
Metro?
Si Nestor Mata ang mga ano noon, editor.
Yeah. Asia Pacific,
Asia something.
Cloud, hindi mo na maalala.
1989 ba naman yun? 1990 na yun.
Okay.
Anyways, sige. So, I mean, so paunti-unti, and then the next one, I was invited by
Manila Hotel.
Then General Manager of Manila Hotel, si Miguel Cerqueda,
Yep.
to do a dinner, a one-night stand, a dinner for the Chien de Rotisseau. Akala nyo ha?
Ano yun?
Presenting Kapampangan cuisine in a Frenchified manner.
Yes.
Para bang ganon?
Wow.
So, 1992. And
Wow.
then again, I mean, a series of invitations to do basically what I do best, which is Kapampangan and Filipino food, no? In these Western hotels. So, para bang that established, or you can say that in a way, how I earned my stripes as a so-called chef. So more than, but simultaneously, I was doing my art, meaning my paintings, my sculptures, my furniture, as my bread and butter. So I would say I am an accidental chef. It's just in my nature. It's like an
Oo.
extension of who I am. I mean, in the first place, don't they call cooking the culinary arts? So para
Oo.
sa akin, it's the same in the same creative thing that remember as a culinary chef. I mean, as a chef, there are chefs
Ayun.
and there are cooks.
Oo, pero
A chef,
Cloud, so Bali Dutung happened later, way later on pa pala, ano?
oh yes. So only
Ilan?
when Mary Ann and I got married, 1998.
Oo,
Remember again in the
10 years pa after.
Mary Ann is also from Pampanga. It's
Mhm.
also from a large family. So
Yes.
the thing was, it's second nature to us to entertain at home. So we were
Ah,
so used to that. So even when we got married, tapos she has her own family, her own sets of friends. So constant yung invitation, yung Marian, daan kami, papunta kami ng Subic. Marian, ganon. Cloud, ganon din. So we were doing it already. It was
okay.
just like we officially opened it to the public
To the
in year
public.
2000 upon the suggestion of the late Dorin Fernandez, where we had her and her group of Atenean friends here in Bale Dutung. She offered to
Wow.
pay. I said,
Kailan
"What? We invited you as guest, house
kailan
guest."
'yun? Kailan
Uh,
'yun?
sometime I think November of 1999.
1990. Yeah, yeah.
So,
Wow, galing, Wow, during
siya yung unang nag-suggest and then she wrote about it. Why don't
oo.
you give it a try? Sabi niya, just offer it to the public, at least yung kindred spirits na nakakaalam sa'yo, those who appreciate your art, yung ganon. So we did that experimentally once a month, minimum of 10. Kasi yung reasoning niya, ganito.
Hmm.
I mean, are you familiar with Ada Mabilangan? She's a cookbook, she's a author also of entertaining etiquettes of entertaining at home, something like that. Um, she suggested, like, she said to this effect, Cloud, I want to invite my own sets of friends. Sabi niya, alangan libre na naman. Siyempre babayad. That's not how it started, the private dining, year 2000.
Wow, galing,
Pero,
galing.
pero it also was a part, even before that, it was kind of part of a cloud museum. Yung mga
Oh yeah,
woodwork
exactly.
mo,
The
di
thing
ba?
is, actually, I designed Bale Dutung, yung silong sa baba, na
Mhm.
it's a display area for my artwork. The
Yes.
paintings, the sculptures, the furniture. Yun ang, I would say, my bread and butter the past 30 years. 40 years na siguro. So, uh, in a way,
Until
para
now,
bang,
until now.
nag-
You still
oh
do
yeah,
it?
until,
Ano ba mas Bali Dutong or the art?
no, I
Pareho.
continue. Okay, let's put it this way. The Bale Dutong private dining, it was a business that Mary Ann and now our son Nico, uh, uh, they're in charge, no?
Oo.
So, yung sa akin naman, I've been continuing my art making. Like the past 2 years, 3 years, the pandemic, I've been very productive doing my Santo series. And prior to the pandemic, actually in July 2018, I had my retrospective exhibition at the National Museum of
Wow, I
Paintings.
didn't know that. Galing.
So, kaya nga, wala ka dito eh.
Oh, anyway.
So, again, for me, that's the culmination of being an artist, as an artist. The cooking is a digression, meaning, ano yung French word, divertismo? Meaning,
Oh, wow.
it's a, yeah, but the thing is, if I do something, you put, whatever it is, no? So I do paintings, sculptures, furniture designing, furniture manufacturing. So as a business thing, but that the thing to and then the writing. The thing to remember is whatever I'm doing at the moment, you give it your whole. 100%. So
Mhm.
even with my cooking, para sa akin, miski na ano lang yon, miskin na you can say hobby that I just went out of my comfort zone. I still give it my whole, meaning as a cook, creating dishes, that's the artist part. Diba?
Oo.
But then, I train the staff to do it. So sila na yung, and Mary Ann and Nico, they do the service, the setup, the ano. So, now that's a completely different thing. That's the business side of
Okay.
the Bale Dutung.
Pero I think maganda nga na ano na medyo hobby mo yung food kasi sobrang sarap naman. Grabe naman. Naalala ko pa yung 7 ways. Ilan ba ang ways of lechon mo?
The lechon. Kasama na yung 7 ways. Siguro umabot nga na 7 kung kasama mo yung mata at yung utak. So anyway,
Let me first connect
yes.
what Claude is saying.
Okay.
He was trying to, pina-fragmentize mo yung mga gawain mo. But actually, the link there is that you have the passion. So
Exactly.
the artist in you is the artist in your cooking, is the artist in your writing, is the artist in your research and collaboration. So
Exactly.
actually, connected lahat eh.
Yes.
That's how yung inspiration mo, you're a happy person. Kaya yung mga creation mo are really happy because your stomach, your gut health is happy.
Exactly.
Diba? Anton, kasi kilala ko na yan si Cloud. Binata pa yan eh.
Binata pa ako.
We thought he would
talaga?
be an everlasting bachelor. Mabuti na lang na ano siya ni Mary Ann.
Ano siya ni Mary Ann. So, hindi, I'll share the photos, no? Because just to provide context din lang. Saan ka ba ngayon? Parang puro paintings yung nasa likod mo, Cloud.
Yes, these are my collection of mga Mount Arayat paintings by different artists. Kasama na ako, meron akong 3 diyan na kasi as you know, Mount Arayat holds a very you can say
Mystical.
not only mystical but it's very dear to any Kapampangan na pag nakita yung view ng Mount Arayat, alam niya his home.
Oo, home.
Yes.
Even when, no? Pag nakita mo na Mount Arayat.
Even when I was studying in UP Diliman, pag uwi sa weekends, I mean by bus, no? Pag nakita na namin yung view ng Mount Arayat from ano pa lang, from Kalumpit, ganyan, Bulacan, makikita mo na, malapit ka na. Para bang you're breathing the air of Pampanga pag nakita mo na yung Mount Arayat. So ito yung mga collection ko ng iba-ibang artist, kasama ni Abe Cruz, si other not necessarily Pampango artists, but so that's me and Mary Ann sharing an Ilocano empanada.
Anong year to?
Anong year yan?
That was the year, let's say year 2000, 2005 maybe. That was the years na we were doing research for the LINAMNAM book, which came out in 2011.
Okay.
So it took us about 3 to 4 years of traveling around the Philippines just to compile all the dishes, the restaurants.
The dishes. Pero Cloud, paano, if you don't mind me asking, paano kayo nagkita ni Mary Ann? Kasi sabi ni Nancy, forever bachelor ka. Paano ba yan? Airplane ba yan?
Ngayon love story naman yung gusto yung marinig, ano?
Oo naman. Oo naman.
Well, ganito. Mary Ann and I have known each other since we were kids. Actually, yung joke ko nga, maliit pa kami, wala pang salawal, naglalaro-laro na. So, hanggang tumanda. So anyway, joking aside. Mary Ann is the batchmate, I would say, very good friend of my younger sister, Ina. They were together in school. Actually, we went to the same elementary school, Holy Family Academy. And two of Mary Ann's brothers, elder brothers, were my classmates in elementary and high school. So I knew that our families were like family friends, no? Talagang hanggang lumaki kami. But then wala pang and then after college, Mary Ann married. And but all those years, we always saw each other, and she worked in Hong Kong pala for Cathay Pacific for 18 years. So the thing was, on the second year of her marriage, she was widowed and had a son, 4-month-old son, who never saw his father, no, growing up. So somehow our friendship rekindled during that time when the son Nico now was 10 years old. So parang nagre-rekindle yung friendship namin. I saw her every now and then when she was visiting home in Balakat, or when we were visiting Hong Kong. So we would have always dinner. So more or less updated kami with each other. Gusto niyo marinig pa yung gusto niyo pa marinig yung with violin.
Oo. Ano
Saan
nangyari?
yung saan yung violin ano?
Yan na, oo.
Bigyan.
Yan, oh.
So one day, somebody, I mean here in Angeles, somebody texted me, "Ay, Claude, alam mo bang namatay yung mother ni Mary Ann? It's living na today," sabi niya gano'n. So I didn't know, sabi ko. So I went to Mabalacat to para bang puntahan ko yung kwan. So this was in the church, no? Yung last yung what do you call that? The mass. Just before the burial. So and then so I was like by the door lang kasi punong-puno ng tao yung simbahan, and I don't know if it was just a coincidence or what, that I was searching for her. I mean, from a distance. So at the time that I saw her, napalingon siya. Nakatingin sa akin. There was this, you can say, anong tawag dun sa mga millennial, yung term nila, yung eyeball. Yung eye contact, no? So at least we acknowledge, she acknowledged my presence, yung gumanon siya. So, and then from, I don't know, from that time on, after the burial, and then there was padasal and all that, and then we saw each other more often until she came back to Hong Kong. Tapos, basta, yun na siguro. I don't know. I want Mary Ann. Baka meron siyang version ni Mary Ann, yung she said. This is what he said. So, ang konya, okay, you want to you
whatever
want
it is, it is
details.
beautiful. It is a beautiful love story until now. Never ending. Okay, next.
Yes. Hindi, sige. So tapos na yung violin. Masyado ng
ano. Wait, we'll say hi to Kapampangan,
X-rated.
Frankie Enriquez.
Yeah.
Hello, Sparks.
Happy Thanksgiving nga daw, Nancy.
Yeah, oo nga. Nag-hello rin ako. Tapos si Kirby Araulio.
Kirby! Hello, Kirby!
Luigi, mabuhay! Popong Cloud, isa
Bapa Cloud, Bapa.
Tayag side.
Tayag side.
Bapa.
Okay, next.
Ayan na,
nagluluto. So initially when we were cooking, we were hosting guests here, andun pa sa taas. Yung initial
nasa taas pa.
So that's my kitchen. Where I am sitting now, I'm right in front of the big marble table. So It's become, actually, when I designed this house talaga, it's literally a studio, meaning a workplace for me as an artist. And then it had a 1-bedroom, a kitchen, and then a toilet. So ang kanya is like a barn house, one big open space. So
But
Ganun.
actually, may I say,
Hmm.
every part of the woodwork in that house is a Claude Tayag work of art. Kaya
Yeah,
the whole
mismo.
house works as a museum.
Galing nga eh.
Yeah, in a way, parang every part of the house has a story. And I
Yeah,
have to mention also about 80% of the material used is recycled, secondhand.
Nice.
So the
Ano
American
tong
term is
pagkain ko?
reclaimed, repurposed.
yeah.
Dami, no? So, may mga gibang ginigibang bahay na luma na ano. So, I was salvaging, literally.
Galing.
Starting in the 1980s, where it was worthless. I mean, at that time, talagang, for me it took me about 10 years to collect. As I had
Mhm.
money, as something was offered to me. Tapos slowly. So, Bale Dutung, the way you saw it, Anton, in the early 2000
Oo.
uh, years, it took me like more than about 15 years in the making.
15 years
Paunti-unti,
na pala yun, no?
paunti-unti. Yeah,
Wow, galing ah.
ganun
Okay.
lang. And basically, even my collection of art, Santos, and ano, like, took me like 30 years to collect. So it's not an instant thing that what you see now. So it literally it's a labor of love and patience
Ah,
and ano yan? Sandali. Yan ang sisig tirin ko. My version of the
ah,
sisig.
sisig rin. Okay.
The cold sisig.
Ilang tenga yan? That's just one tenga?
No, I think several. But the thing is, I cut it into boiled, and then cut
Yeah,
it into
galing.
slices. And then, yung pinagkuluan, di ba? As we know, that's the gelatin when it's
Yep.
chilled. Yung, kaya linagay ko dun sa meatloaf pan. Tapos, ganun siya pag
Hati-hati.
in-slice mo. Remember, okay, so I came up with this in presenting sisig. Kasi kilala ng tao ngayon is just the sizzling sisig that everybody
Version.
knows that is chopped, no? Minced into small pieces. But to ask Kapampangans, sisig is not that only. Sisig basically is a salad served with a vinaigrette. It can be sisig puso ng saging, it can be sisig papaya, sisig singkamas, anything dipped in vinegar. And what is that in French? Crudité, di ba?
Uh-huh.
Okay, what is that in Tagalog? Kilawin. No, kilawin na baboy. Kilawin na puso ng saging. Yung anything dipped in vinegar for us, kasi yung term ginagamit namin sisig, ay manisig kung manggang hilaw. For example, green mango with bagoong. And this is usually referred to by pregnant women, yung naglilihi literally, naglilihi. So something sour. So in the absence of the green mango, as we know, is very seasonal, bibigyan siya ng singkamas, pipino, kapaya na manibalang, but dipped in vinegar just to satisfy that craving for sourness. So, yun ang sisig sa amin. Kaya, nung lumabas yung sizzling sisig, it was an evolution over many decades na originally for like 300 years ang sisig, kasi the word sisig came out already in a Pampango Spanish dictionary published in 1732
Ah, talaga?
by this Spanish friar Bergaño, defining sisig as a salad served with a vinaigrette.
Oo.
But nung una kong nabasa yon, how can that be described as a salad? Whereas, as we all know, Filipino food is not categorized like in the Western way, like salad first. Filipino eating, no?
Oo.
Salad first, soup first, ganon, tapos main course, and then dessert. So, iba ganon, hindi tayo structured.
Oo.
We serve everything on the table at once.
Yeah.
Tapos minsan, wala tayong salad, but the salad in itself is a
Yung
side
ulam.
with
Oo.
is a side with a fried fish or inihaw na baboy ano yung salad na yon. Yung sausawan natin. Kamatis, it could be with mustasa, it could be with labanos, may bagoong, may itlog na maalat. Tapos yung if you live in an island, baka meron kang any kind of seaweed. 'Di ba? Sausawan mo yon. Pero actually, that's the vegetable as a salad. So yung description ni that is usually served to a pregnant woman. And ano yung naninisig nga, yung salad na yon? It could be anything na gulay, na raw, deep in vinegar. So, and then what is that in Tagalog? Kilawin na baboy.
Okay. May
Ang daming
mga
fans,
may nagko-comment. Si Mark Manalang said, I miss Bali Dutung and Cloud's 5 ways lechon, syempre.
Mayroon
Yes.
pang isa, si Michael Alim. Hi, Michael.
Hi, Michael. Thank you.
Shout
Hi,
out,
Michael. Okay,
Naku ha, 4:45 in the morning doon. Anton and Nancy all the way from Madrid, Spain. 4:45.
Yes.
Anong story nito?
Hi, Michael. Wait. Si Michael ako magkukwento o si Michael mismo dapat? Okay, we met in Madrid like a month ago. So si Michael grew up here in Pampanga. So Kapampangan niya. So he is the head chef, the head roaster, I must say, of Butin, Butin restaurant. Sobrino de Butin.
Talaga?
The oldest supposedly the oldest restaurant in the world. Siya yung asador. Hindi yung asador ng asar, ha? yung asador siya yung head
the
roaster,
baker, the roaster.
yeah, of the cochinillo, of the world famous cochinillo ng Butin.
Wow, galing.
Michael, susunod magiging kang guest din sa dito sa
guest
Awesome.
natin yan si Michael Alim.
Alright.
Okay, going back to the photos.
Next photo.
Ano
Ayan.
to?
Ayan ang favorite ni Cloud. Kaya, Cloud,
Baboy.
gamot sa gout.
Kumusta? Surprisingly, I'm very okay sa sa cholesterol level and the gout and the uric acid under control.
Good.
I think it's the exercise and but no, funnily, I had during this pandemic, nag Zoom consultation
Ano
ako
yan? Was that just for a photo or talagang
No, I was in Lawag or Vegan, shooting for Chasing Flavors. And I did the how the bagnet was done. So ito yung sinerve sa akin na matikman siyempre. So photo op na para bang wow, sarap. Talagang kakaiba. I mean, iba pa rin talagang pag sinabi mong the bagnet compared to lechong kawali, magkaiba pa rin, although basically there's both fried with the crackling, with the skin very crispy, no? Tapos yung iba yung pagka-serve, iba yung
may aging may aging process.
Yes and no. Yung aging kasi iba-iba rin technique nila Yung iba sinasabi pinapakulo with suka and asin para ma-preserve siya. So in a way parang inadobo siya. So yung iba naman binibilad lang sa araw na inasinan. So iba-iba rin, iba-iba. But the thing is, you buy this in the wet market, in big chunks.
Yes.
So everybody brings it home, and then just before you serve it, you have to chop it into like cubes, and then fry it again.
And wrap it only in paper.
Yeah, kasi yung paper para mag-absorb yung excess mantika. So ganun yung kanon.
So, may comment si Lab Ajuma, Claude Tayag, parang celebrity sa Filipino food and art scene. Greetings from Korea.
Wow.
Korea, wow. Parang. Sige. Korea, hi Korea.
Okay yan, si Lab.
International viewers mo, Anton.
Hindi, ikaw yan, dahil sa yan tsaka kay Nancy. Yan, anong?
Yan ang sisig, yung sisig sa Bale Dutung. And also at Downtown Cafe. So, ang angkon ko, can you zoom it some more? At hanggang makita mo yung minced, meaning literally in like little cubes, diced. I call it diced. Tingnan mo. Hindi yung ginagawa kasi ngayon, Yung sa akin, it's mainly with the mascara, no, with the pig's ears. When we say mascara, it's basically the whole face, including the cheeks, the snout, the jowls. So
Mhm.
medyo may taba, importante yung taba, and then of course the skin. So plus the ears, the cartilage of the skin, the cartilage of the ears, yung lumalagutok, yung dapat pagkagat mo.
Oh.
Nakita mo
Oo.
kanina yung tirin, di ba? Merong stripe na white
Oo.
part. So
Ito rin, meron din.
the usual or the most popular cut that the sisig nowadays that they serve in most restaurants is the jaw, yung pisngi na. Actually, it's the cheapest part of that and the fattiest. Kaya pag tinatad nila yon, it looks like a mash of fat. Hindi mo na makikita yung little cubes.
Parang Kobe.
Sobrang taba. If you keep on sislip frying it, lalabas yung mantika.
Yeah.
Yung hindi namin matake na Kapampangan. Why they have to put mayonnaise?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sorry.
Yung sa Manila version is with mayonnaise.
Oh, may
Remember,
mayonnaise.
if you heat up mayonnaise, it will just melt into oil. So it's super greasy sisig that you get outside of Pampanga. Kaya we're so against the yung nalang mayo, di ba? Tapos lalagyan pa nila ng egg.
Itlog.
So, hindi na siya pulutan. Naging ulam na siya.
Ulam.
Okay.
Okay.
Remember, this is just a pulutan. It's a salad. It's a meaning
masarap.
supposed to be cold.
Ito, ano
Ayan,
to?
sisig puso ng saging.
Ito yung
Sisig puso ng saging. That's what
Okay.
Yes, that's what I'm telling everybody. Like, if you see a restaurant claiming to be serving the authentic Kapampangan sisig, that's hogwash. That's a lot of bullshit. Meaning, what is authentic sisig Kapampangan? Sisig puso ng saging, sisig baboy, sisig papaya, sisig ano. Sisig is a generic term. It's a cooking. It's a preparation. So it's not the dish itself, just like the adobo, that's sinigang. That is what
Okay.
it is.
Okay, may comment lang
There's
ulit
just,
si Michael.
Michael.
Proud Pinoy and Kabalen, syempre. Super yummy ang Cloud9 crab paste.
Wow.
Crab
Oo.
Yan
Oo
pala.
nga pala.
Regards, Mary Ann and family. See you next year, ba? Every year ka na pala nasa Spain.
Sabi kasi ng Madrid, our embassy in Madrid, because they enjoyed so much the cooking I did there. Baka pwedeng maulit next year, sabi gano'n. Nasa sa inyo yun. But if you invite me, send me the ticket. Siyempre.
Okay, ito, this next photo, anong story yan?
Okay. So
Nanalo ka
that
dito,
was
di ba?
the awarding. Yes. In May. No, sorry. When was that? Year 2016. May 2016. I was invited by the. Yeah. So that is the Embassy Chef Challenge in Washington, D.C. It's held every year. So in that year, I was invited by the Philippine Embassy in the U.S. based in di ba, Washington, D.C. That was the first time for them to join. At that time, I think 10 years old na yung competition na yon. Most of the embassies in D.C. would send a representative chef to compete. No? Kaya Embassy Chef Challenge. And to present a dish, to make a dish representing their country. So, di ba ang hirap nun in one dish? And one bite, supposedly. And you have to serve to make something like 1,000 servings. Small portions.
Wow.
Parang bite size lang literally. Ang ginawa ko, and the condition that they gave me, I have to use Philippine ingredients available in the US. So medyo tied na yung kamay mo, no? Medyo restricted na yung kan mo. So tinanong ko kung anong meron ganyan. And it so happened, one big supermarket in the West Coast. Ano, ano yun? Seafood Island. Seafood Island ba yun?
Yeah.
Anyway, they were carrying heirloom rice from the rice terraces from Banawe. So what I presented was the bringhe using heirloom rice. So if you're not familiar with the bringhe is the glutinous rice, you can say cake. Kakanin siya, but it's savory and it's usually served during fiestas. Here in Pampanga, in Bulacan, I would not say it's exclusively Kapampangan because it's also found in Cavite and in Iloilo. It's just called by a different name called Valenciana. So what I presented, andiyan ba yung mga photos kaya? Tingnan mo yung yung isang
Ay,
ano,
wala na yata.
yung hindi, mga paintings na yan. Wala na yung food.
Wala na
yung
wala na yung food eh.
Wala na.
Wala.
Anyway, basta yun ang pinresent ko. Yung size lang ng parang Silvana. Tapos linagyan ko ng topping, nagdala ako ng taba ng talangka. And then they had bangus there. Linagyan ko yung bangus na timpladong parang inasal with calamansi juice, at suete, bawang, and lemongrass. Meron ding lemongrass doon. Although, so I did it with the help of course, Mary Ann was there, and also the staff of the embassy. We did it the night before, tapos nilagay sa chiller, tapos noon, the following day, ininit na lang, nakahanap kami ng banana leaves. So it was presented like a bibingka na lined with a sunog-sunog na leaf. Kaya yung amoy, I think that attracted ako. Anyway, I won there were 2 awards. Ano pangalan nun? Basta I won one of the awards, the most popular among the so, and I was able to deliver 1,000. So bringhe, I mean the ordinary bringhe presented lang in a saucy manner, meaning social. And then this is the best part also. The following year, the sous chef of the cousin of Chef Jessie Sintioco. What's her name? She won naman the overall award. The 2
Galing.
for
Breaking. Okay.
Nag-break ka.
Hello?
Yun.
Nawala.
Nag-break ka lang na. Yan.
Having
Okay.
trouble connecting is often caused by an unstable internet connection. Move closer to your router if you're on
Oh,
Wi-Fi.
yun na. We're seeing your painting now of Baguio.
Baguio to.
Yes, these are my watercolor paintings of Baguio. When I lived there, sometime year 1983 and 84. So I lived there for 2 years. Just painting away.
80s in Baguio. Ganda siguro.
Yeah.
Anton,
And this is
merong may fan. Si Gershwin Gao Garcia. I love the sisig. Where can we try your food, chef? I love to learn how to cook your food, chef.
Ito. Ang dito.
Yan ang silong. Yes. That's a silong.
So saan daw matatay yung food mo, chef? Saan?
Well, dito sa Bale Dutung, they can also order, I think online. Si Mary,
nag-delivery ba kayo during the pandemic? O hindi?
yes. Oo, nagdi-deliver sila noon.
Okay.
Yung mga Lala Move and all that.
Okay. Pero ito, silong ngayon during the pandemic or during this time na you cannot eat in the silong anymore? Paano na?
No, it's the one up front in front of the 'di ba yung gate namin tapos yung garahe. So I built a structure there.
Okay.
Doon yung yung private dining.
Private dining. Okay. Next. Ito, story.
Yan na.
Alam mo yung kwento to.
Okay, so that was taken during his visit year No, wait, let's put it this way. October 2007 for the filming of the No Reservation Philippine episode. So, and then it was shown in the US, I mean, for the premiered in the US, January 2008. So that was at the Kambingan. So we were toasting. Ako, San Light ako, pero siya Pilsen.
Mhm. Mhm.
So, and that was the time that I mean, after this, we went to the Sisigan, kay Aling Lusing, after that. So in one day we had 2 shoots, no. But I have to add this. I have to mention this. Like a lot of people have been asking me how was he in person.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, for me, this is the best illustration that really speaks volume of the person. He's an authentic person, meaning yung
Totoo siya.
pagkatotoo niya, yung walang pretensions, walang aire, walang ano, no. So when the he knew about the 4 ways kambing. This is in a kambingan. I presented that. I wrote about it, describing it to the producer. I mean, this was like several weeks before the actual visit. So he basically had to edit and approve of the episodes that we were going to film in. So he chose the 4 ways kambing. So the 4 ways kambing, basically the meat, all the bones, the ribs, and all that, the carcass would be made into caldereta, the head into sinigang, and they will slaughter only 1 kambing per day. So the head had to be reserved. Otherwise, isang order lang yan eh. So sinigang. And then the balat and the would be the balat would be made into kilawin na kambing. And then the innards and the bile into the papaitan, of course, no? Yeah. What would be kambing without the papaitan? So when I described when the time for the papaitan to be served was there, Bourdain asked me, so Claude, how do we eat this? What is this? He said, well, that's basically a sour soup with the bile of the goat. Alam mo, without saying a word, I mean, I knew his, para bang, there's the fear factor came, pero ano siya, ganito, lumunok siyang ganyan. My God, Claude, but just by your description, I'm scared to try it. He said, no? So it was presented to us, a bowl each. And then I have instructed the server beforehand to give us like a few calamansi pieces and chopped siling labuyo. So it was there. Well, you can add more calamansi if you want it more sour, and also chili if you want it really spicy. So, which he did. You know, yung first spoonful pa lang, ganyan. Yeah. This is so good, sabi niya ganyan. It's not as bad as I thought it would be, sabi niya ganon, no? And then he, yung ginawa niyang discussion, based on his previous experiences, I've had bile in the borskat. I wanted to throw up. It's like something like that in countries like Laos or Cambodia, somewhere within Asia. So, salita, nung natapos na yung discussion niya, so, nag-cut na yung camera, no? So, basically, the interview was over. Alam mo ginawa niya? He took the bowl and talagang literally, to the last drop, hinigop niyang ganon.
Talaga?
Talagang gustong-gusto niya. Yeah, I mean, this is off camera na. So, doon ko na nakita yung talagang, alam mo, yung panlasa niya talaga. Gusto niya mataba, laman loob. Kaya gustong-gusto niya yung sisig, yung baboy na mataba. Tingnan mo yung description niya sa kwan pa, and it's the perfect beer match, sabi niya ganon. So,
sabi nga nila,
sisig naman,
Anthony Bourdain is a true fan of lechon and sisig. Oo nga.
So,
exactly, yeah.
Anong level ka sa friend zone? medyo sa second degree na, third degree na? Anong high level ka na sa friend zone niya noon?
What do you mean? Anong level?
Well, ano mo na,
Jackie.
yung uso ngayon, friends zone. Friend zone na kayo ni Anthony. Ano ka na? Upper level ka na. Closer. You're good
Not
friend.
really. I never had a direct contact with him. It was through the secretary. So, kung meron akong, yung pinakiusap ko yung that picture to be reproduced in my book, pinakiusap ko. Although that photo was taken by Mary Ann. Nasa
Ganda.
sign siya. I gave her the camera. I gave her the camera as an SLR. Nakaset na siya sa automatic lang. So, just click away. Sabi kong ganon. Basta kuha ka lang ng kuha.
Ganda, no? Pati
Nakaset na
crew
yan.
nasa
Make sure
likod,
naka-focus.
nasa camera.
So,
Galing.
Very nice.
nasa
Very
side
nice.
lang siya. Hello?
Okay, ayan na.
Alright, ito na.
Yan pa rin ang love mo? Lechon is your number one?
Yes and no. Yes. Of course.
Aminin
Hindi,
mo.
not lechon.
Aminin.
I mean, lechon, basta baboy na malutong. Baboy na malutong. Basta masarap na crispy pata, lechon kawali, bagnet, chicharon, na may laman, ha? Hindi. Cochinillo, of course, yung sabutin. So, basta baboy. Tapos kay pepitas din. One of the best din yon. So,
Sarap din.
basta yung tama, yung pagkaluto. I mean, what is more frustrating than ordering like crispy pata in a restaurant tapos hindi crispy yung balat. 'Di ba? Or the lechong kawali tapos makuna yung balat tapos buhay yung taba, yung solid fat.
Yeah. Ito ba gawa mo yan, yung lechon? You made that?
Well, it was made here kaya nag-collapse na yung kasi matagal. Nag-collapse yung balat.
Okay.
Although may malutong parts pa rin. Di ba yung gusto natin yung perfect, yung makinis yung balat na
Can you share three tips on the perfect lechon?
Perfect lechon.
Anong kind of baboy? Di ba? Una muna, Bobby.
Yeah, Bobby. Okay. Baka ang number one, okay. This one also I learned from experience at the same time when I interviewed the La Loma lechoneros. The pig has to be a female pig.
Oh,
Hindi yung lalaki.
Uh-huh.
Merong amoy yung lalaki. Mapanghi.
Okay.
Okay.
And the lechoneros know that for a fact. Lalo na daw pag hindi maganda yung hindi magaling yung naglinis, nagkatay. So that's one. Number two, native pig, yung black hair. No? Yung basically mga backyard grown yan eh. They're less fatty. Very lean yung meat. Pero kailangan mo pa rin ng konting taba para lumutong yung pan. So, and then thirdly, para sa akin, I combine the one we do in Bale Dutung, I combine the Visayan way of stuffing it with these aromatics, starting with lemongrass, onion leeks, garlic, whole pepper, and salt. No? Ang kon ko, ours is not as salty as the Cebuano. And the Cebu lechon actually more than the alat, more than the asin. You know what's happening? And this was shared by a Cebuano himself na siguro I don't know, hindi ko na lang babagitin pangalan, but very I would well respected Cebuano. They use this MSG, this magic powder in all their lechon. Kaya so yung parang gaganon yung asim at yung alat. Sa ano mo, that's why they have to sausaw it with vinegar. To offset to balance super alat. I don't know, it's a way of preserving it or it's just their thing.
Taste
na
profile.
hindi lang asin ang kwan nila.
Nilalagay.
Nilalagay. Talagang, I mean, I can tell if you've eaten something na, I mean, after eating in the Chinese restaurant, di ba, you have that, what they call the MSG syndrome. Lalo na kung uminom ka ng Coke Zero, merong aftertaste na that lingers in your mouth na at the top of your mouth, na at the roof of your mouth, andun pa rin, parang you're so thirsty na from all that sodium and all that. Anyway,
may comment si Lab. Sabi ni Lab, in Korea, female pigs are more expensive and favored for cooking.
Yeah.
Exactly. So they know also.
They know.
Totoo yan.
Okay.
So that's the way it is. So and then thirdly, yung sinasabi mo sa tinatanong mo sa akin, Nancy, yung perfect lechon.
No.
For me, it has to be served within like 30 minutes after they remove it from the charcoal, from the peat. 30 minutes.
Okay.
Beyond that, lalamig na. That's why I never enjoyed lechon served in big parties, especially in Manila. For one, it had come from the lechonero like 6 hours before when it was cooked. Tapos magta-travel pa yan. And then when they serve it during the party, they chop it up and put it in a shaping dish. Tapos most likely aircon pa yung lugar. Edi sebo na. And you don't know what part you're eating. Ako yung kumukurot. Not only kumukurot, maybe you can cut it nicely. The way I serve it, I cut it with scissors and a tongue, no? So, and then you don't need to chop it with a cleaver because all the parts can be like taken off just with a scissor and a tongue. Especially when it comes to the ribs after that, and then the liempo. Yun ang kwan ko para sa akin. Like, I had a guest na gusto but nagpahuli siya. Sabi niya, all the balat na malutong, paubos na. Sabi ko, hindi, I like the soft belly, sabi niya.
Yes.
Kasi all the juices flows there. All the it's in direct contact with the herbs. So the thing was, it's the most flavorful part of the lechon is the belly.
The belly.
So, pati yung balat, miski na makunat, sabi, hindi na makunat, malambot, sabi niya ganon. Pino mo yun? That's when I discovered like there are like 100 ways of skinning the lechon. Literally, enjoying the lechon. Yung pisngi, iba rin yung cheeks.
Okay.
Ayan.
Ito, mahilig ka sa Spain. Lagi ka na sa Spain. Oh. Ano to?
Yes. Yeah. That was taken in 2011, I think. I was with Mickey Phoenix. So, andun siya yung kumuha nung camera nun. We attended the Madrid Fusion in Madrid. And then part of it, like we were given a tour of the different specialty stores. So that's the ham in me.
Nice. Ham in me. All right. Ito. We're going to the artwork.
Okay.
Ang layo naman yan, no? Ang layo. Okay, okay. That's one of my earliest Santo paintings. If you will zoom in at the signature, I think it was painted in 1978. That was my first one-man exhibit, held at the ABC Galleries, owned by Larry Cruz. Hindi pa siya restaurateur at that time kasi 1978, 1979 siya nagbukas ng what do you call that? Cafe Adriatico.
Okay.
So, hindi pa siya. He was a gallery owner. Antiques, books, and canvases, he calls it. So, that was my first break in painting.
Galing.
1978.
Nice.
Galing. So, 1978, I was 22 years old. I had my first one-man exhibit. Grade school ka pa nun siguro, Anton, ano?
Oo, wala pa.
Wala pa. So this is I did this during the pandemic. So yung mga Santo series.
Galing.
Yeah, it's a triptych.
It's a painting or it's a sculpture?
It's a painting. It's a watercolor painting. of
Nice.
the same santo of Santo Niño in three
Uh-huh.
different angles.
Three different. This one.
Okay, these two are two of my largest paintings. If you can zoom in, tapos portion mo na lang parang span mo. Yan, the Ati-Atihan.
Mm-hmm.
It's the whole plaza. So 19,
Wow.
ano nakalagay sa yung year?
Mhm.
19. Can you look at the text kung anong year siya? And that belongs
79.
1979. So just a year
Wow.
after I exhibited. And it now belongs to the BPI. BPI executive, what do you call this? The main building, headquarters.
Ito,
Ito Ati-Atihan
Kalimutan.
naman.
Ati-Atihan.
Later na yan, year 2003. Is it?
Oo, 2003. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ganda.
So initially, in my painting phases, I did Philippine folk festivals and religious images. So ito yun, mga Ati-Atihan. I also have Moriones and other Philippine festivals.
And then,
Ito na.
ano to, Cloud?
So Nancy, kung tutusin, that was the period that we were going out together with the Thursday Club. I was doing all these paintings.
Yep.
Doon ako nag-exhibit sa And then this is much later on with my wood sculptures.
But take note, Anton, you were not using nails, hindi ba? You were using wooden pegs. Parang that's how you describe it to me eh. Nagulat ako nun eh. Di ba? You said?
Oo. Ito, ano to, Cloud?
Shopee. Nancy, I did not hear that.
Hindi ka
So I call it a
gumagamit.
wave sculpture. Parang woven
Yeah,
siya.
you were not using
like planks.
Yeah. No, you were not using nails. You were using wooden pegs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, wooden pegs. Para bang mortise and tenon, yung mitya and all that.
Yes.
Walang nails sa mga furniture ko.
Oo.
Wow, galing.
Yes.
So, galing.
Meron pa
So
dyan,
as you can see, meron pa. The cooking is just one aspect of me. So,
okay.
Yeah, wala na.
Ito na. Artist, collector, chef, sculptor, woodworker, lechon monger, author, writer, culinary collaborator, public figure, TV personality, newspaper writer. You're also a butler, BOT na bobote. You're also a loving husband, father, son, friend. And I think there's a new term I learned. You're a culinologist kasi hindi ka naman nagsasalita. You do your research, science-based research as a chef. Meron pa ba? May na-miss pa ba ako? Ang daming sa listahan ko.
Dami. So, Cloud, nakilala lang pala kita later on pa, no?
Oh yes, di ba 2007?
Oh, 2007
that time
na. Ang dami mo palang galing Galing.
Kaya nga yung mga nakakakilala sa akin, I mean they have to put themselves in the time frame that they met me.
They
So
met you.
that was the time that I was cooking. I mean basically cooking in the sense that here in Bale Dutung, no, yung initial part nga before I trained the staff. So I did initially all the cooking, the marketing in the first place, but it was kind of tiring. I mean, meaning that was not what I set out to do. I mean, basically, yun na, as an artist.
I have a last question. No?
Sure.
You're really inspiring, and as you turn on your senior years, and as we get into 2022, what's next What's the next reinvention of Mr. Claude Tayag?
Gagawa na yan ng movie.
Oy, pwede.
There's a movie in my mind.
Yes.
to borrow a line from Miss Saigon, a movie in my mind. Sa Kapampangan movie, food movie. You know, in the tradition of like Water for Chocolate, Babette's Feast, Tampopo, yung mga ganun ba?
Director na rin! Director na rin! Grabe, why
So,
not?
kulang na lang daw. I mean, actually, meron nagsabi sa akin, a movie director himself, Cloud, kaya mo yun. Ikaw mismo gagawa, ikaw yung...
Yeah, kaya mo yun, Cloud.
All my
Wow.
past
Anyway.
experiences has led me to this. As a food writer, as a cook, as an artist. I mean, I did the food styling in that cookbook. I did my own photography. I did my own this and that. But the thing is, finding the time to do that. But ang kon ko ngayon, I'm continuing my painting. Para bang I did not, I never left it, so I cannot say I went back to serious painting. But now, no, I have more time because the running of Bale Dutung is in the hands of Nico and Mary Ann. So sila
Right.
na. So they're a big help in the sense that they remove all the chores, the responsibilities of running a business. So sa kanila yon, even the bottled sauces. So we hired a food technologist and all that. So balik sa normal yung Bale Dutong.
Schedule
In
mo.
the meantime, andito ako sa studio ko with my painting and
Cloud, my
also my
question.
wood. Ano? Yeah.
My question. How do you see the future of Philippine cuisine? Yeah. For somebody who've seen it grown throughout the
Oh,
years.
yeah. What is the question again?
How do you
Anton?
see the future of Philippine
See,
cuisine?
future. Well, the future is here. We're experiencing it. There's a renaissance, a rediscovery by, especially most especially by the Phil amps. What do they call
Yes.
themselves now? Filipino. So the thing is, we're experiencing I mean, you can say the golden age of Philippine cuisine. That, you know, all these years they've been saying why kulelat ang Philippine, why Philippine cuisine is not known abroad, blah blah blah, and all that. Yeah, with our efforts, starting with Glenda Barreto, Larry Cruz, Nancy Reyes there. I mean, all the food magazines, Philippine food magazines, and then the foreign uh, writers and TV personalities like Bourdain, Andrew Zimmerman, sino pa? Si
Marami dito. Marami
many
dito.
others. Huh? Yeah, so I mean they wrote about it like more than 10 years ago, di ba? 10 years ago na predict na ni Andrew Zimmerman,
Marami.
it's the next best thing. Parang it's here. I mean, it's been here like the past 5 years.
You know
So
what
what
they
is
like?
there? I mean, this is the future,
The,
and
the,
it
the
keeps
young
on
ones here,
evolving.
they like to hear stories so much. They really love to hear what ano. So your movie has to happen.
Oh.
Finally, a producer.
Ayan si
Ikaw
Antonio.
mapoproduce? Ikaw mapoproduce?
Oh, sige.
Sige, magana
Okay.
tayo. Gawin natin yan.
Yeah, do it.
Meron nga ako
Oh,
nabasa na nakagawa ng movie sa iPhone lang.
yeah.
Yes.
Low
Sige,
budget.
i-project natin yan. Project natin yan.
Anyway.
Alright. Maraming salamat. Sabi, last comment ni Jerswin said, Jack of all trades. Of course.
Yeah.
Galing.
And Cloud, thank you for teaching me how to cook sisig. He taught me that.
Yeah.
Oo. Ayan, tanong niyo na lang kay Nancy yung ano.
Yung sikreto.
Oh, pati yung secret naman that Nancy that you shared of your lola's adobo. Yung yung may balat ng baboy.
Extra.
I think that for me is
1 yard.
isang yarda.
Anyway. So
Alright. And last comment ni Lab, please make a travel show with history.
and such.
Di ba
Meron na yung chasing
ginawa.
flavors nga. Di ba meron mga historical footnotes? Yung chasing flavors.
Wala kasi sa
unfortunately na part.
Sa
Netflix.
Wala pa.
With all that you are, can you say the last message from your heart? Something that's soulful na ikaw. Na hindi pa namin
Soul
naririnig
food.
o hindi pa namin nababasa.
Hindi pa yung nababasa. Dali. Ito yung mga kuan ko, no, mga parting words ko. Okay, tungkol sa pagkain natin. Pagkain walang kwento, walang kwenta.
Yes.
Yes.
Gets mo 'yon? Okay? So it's the what you mentioned, Nancy, earlier, that the young people now want the
Yeah.
narrative, the
Yes.
kwento. Yung kwento, di ba?
Yep.
What the origins, this dish or that, ganon. So that's about the food. Ako naman as an artist, follow your heart. The art will follow. Para bang sundan mo kung ano yung nasa puso mo. Kung ano man yung gusto mong gawin. I mean, who would have said like 30 years ago when we were going out together in the Thursday Club, who would have known? I mean, I was an artist at that time, meaning just a painter. No? But somehow along the way, gusto kong gumawa ng kahoy. I mean, to express myself in other mediums. So, hindi lang yung painting. Tapos, kahoy, sculpture. Tapos, as a business, I may have to support my art. I mean, something has to like pay the rent and all that, diba? So, gumawa ko ng, I mean, with my architecture background, I designed furniture na it became a business that in a way supported my art. So, in the end, because of my being a Kapampangan, being a Tayag, where cooking is second nature, at the same time, entertaining, it became a business when Mary Ann and I got married. And plus the fact that Mary Ann worked for Cathay Pacific for 18 years, not just a flight attendant, but she became in the ground staff as a counselor and trainer. So that in a way prepared her next role, next job here in Bale Dutung. Siya yung nag-train ng staff namin. Siya ang bahala sa setup, sa setting, and all that. So para bang it just fell into place. So it grew organically. I mean, the evolution of Bale Dutung, of me as a person, as you know, sabi mo nga, for the longest time, bachelor. I married at 40 years old.
Yeah.
So before that, so yun na nga, parang had I married earlier, maybe it could have been the wrong person I married to, or it could have been a wrong timing. So basta everything fell into place. And as you mentioned, Nancy, with all my, you can say, talent and the medium that I've done, it all comes from above. I
Amen.
feel I am just a medium
That's
to
good.
execute God's plan. So the thing was, or is, if I did not act on them, yun ang para sa akin ang the biggest tragedy. So
But you did.
I will take the jack of all trade somewhat hesitantly. Yung kanya, I would even add to that, jack of all trades but master of all. Hindi yung master of none. Kasi nga, as you mentioned, yung fragmented yung aking kwan at every kwan. It's like, I mean, I will show my passion in every aspect of my work, whatever it is, whether in the cooking, in the writing, anything. So, follow your heart, and the art will follow. I will come.
So, anong tawag namin sa
So,
inyo
yun po,
yun?
ang masasabi ko lang.
Direct Cloud. Game.
Direct Cloud.
Ano? Direct
Direct.
Cloud. Hindi pa. Oh, direct. Hindi pa. Maghanap pa ako ng producer. Ay, producer.
Ha? Sige lang. Marami
Sige.
yan.
All right. Maraming salamat. So inspiring. Thank you for sharing your story. Ang galing. Ang dami ko natutunan sa iyo,
Oh,
Cloud.
yeah.
Na hindi mo alam, no?
Oo, kasi wala naman eh. You have to sit down talaga and talk to somebody.
Oh,
yung
tsaka
background.
ang ako naman kasi, I don't talk about myself per se, but meaning tataas ko sarili kong bangko. Yung ganon. That's not me.
Kaya nga sabi ni Michael, naaliw siya. Thanks for the great interview. Naaliw ako makinig at manood.
At saka Cloud, hello Over na tayo ng 30 minutes. Sobrang interesting. Walang walang hito.
Kaya nga, 12:30 na. Wala pang tanong.
Alright.
Hindi,
Maraming salamat.
people will watch this.
Yeah. It's one of the really inspiring stories we've heard in this Culinary DNA series na with that. Maraming salamat.
I have one adjective for him now. Hindi na Cloud9. Awesome!
Awesome!
Awesome! Hindi yan si Awesome, what's her name? Si Awesome. Awesome. The artista.
Yeah, Go direct.
Direct.
Go
Tama. We'll support that. All right. Maraming salamat for
Sige.
those watching.
Okay,
Thank you.
more power.
I can share this video
More power to
to all
Awesome.
the family, friends na fans ni Claude Tayag.
In regards to Darling.
Yes, to Darling.
Yes.
Kamusta?
Oo.
Na-miss ko na kayo. We'll visit soon.
Oo nga. Hindi, mag-iimbita kami. When things get better here, we will invite friends. Nancy, hindi ka na uuwi talaga. Diyan ka na.
Uuwi pa rin. Uuwi pa
Umuwi
rin.
ka na Nancy soon.
Na-lockdown ka dyan eh.
Lapit na.
Alright.
God bless.
Maraming salamat.
Mary Ann,
Okay.
you are his treasure. And Nico.
Kinilig ako dun sa story niyo ni.
Ay, hindi ko pa sinabi. Gusto mong dugtungan ko na? Ay, tapusin ko na yung kwento.
Hindi, yung version ni Mary Ann ang gusto namin.
Hindi, sige, Cloud.
Gumawa kayo gumawa kayo ng sequel nito na si Mary Ann naman interview nyo para makuha niyo yung
sige. Alright. Maraming salamat, guys.
Okay, bye.
Life. God bless. Maraming salamat.
God bless.
God is good.
Can you do a short